Hello again, Mike the MC, bringing another self-care video. Today I'm going to share with you number 174 of the Catechism today with respect to different cultures and languages as united with the faith, being passed on through the centuries, and thinking about, okay, this idea of a treasure that's being passed on throughout time, and you wonder, okay, not a treasure per se of money and wealth, possibly could relate to that as far as like you look at a history museum and think, wow, that cross in the case, okay, that was important. It probably helped people be evangelized or something, right, as it was carried across the continents, etc., and people saw it. But more importantly than a historical fact, this idea that beyond history, it means something. What does it mean to know a part of history? We may be from a different time frame of a different part of the world, but when we hear history, how does it come alive? How does that history come alive within you and me to reignite ourselves, our passions, to really think, wow, there is something awesome about people and humanity in those struggles as they overcame negativity throughout the world at time. And so I'll share with you number 174 of the Catechism and see where this takes us. So 174 of the Catechism states the following: for though languages differ throughout the world, the content of the tradition is one and the same. The churches established in Germany have no other faith or tradition, nor do those of the Iberians, nor those of the Celts, nor those of the East, of Egypt, of Libya, nor those established at the center of the world. The church's message is true and solid, in which one and the same way of salvation appears throughout the whole world. And so being like the seed, this idea of the faith being planted throughout the whole world. Okay, now that seed's going to sprout in different parts, different soils, with different people, with different cultures and traditions. Right, you see where I'm drawing with this, how it sprouts up. And so then it's up to the religious leaders, as best as they can, to live and to uphold that truth as best as possible with respect to their people. Now the thing is, advice I would share with the leaders is to remember that from one part of the world to another, to still love and nourish the flock that you're entrusted to. I've seen some leaders, right, they will follow what the Pope is saying and the great leaders across the world, but don't forget to take care of your own flock as well, the people that you are entrusted to, because if you don't and they go astray, it comes back to you as a leader, as the leader of that flock, the shepherd. And so I'll say I've seen it how there's that disconnect, so break that disconnect with love, connection, talking with each other, having meetings, going to the masses, right? I'm referring now to bishops and other people, but the thing is, as a leader, you have to represent your people, and you represent more than just yourself and the people, but that history. Going back to this element of the history of the faith, because when you recognize, okay, if your diocese being that, okay, for those who don't know, a diocese is an area that believes in the Catholic faith, that is led by a bishop, entrusted to him by the Pope, etc., and by just living out the doctrines of the church, takes care of that flock, the diocese. So whichever diocese you're a part of, you represent a part of history throughout that part of the world for several centuries possibly. And so I'm in a diocese that's been here for, many centuries as well. At least over about 300 years at least. But the thing is, no matter how much time you've been in there, your families and ancestors have been in that area for a long time, living the faith, seeing the truths, living them out, and recognizing, okay, we're a part of something greater than just this time in our life right now. I'm a part of history, and I cannot just deny my past, my culture, my race, my ethnicity, my background, because the background does play a part to where you come from. And yes, you can always adventure, be a wanderer, you can go start your family in a different country, nation, etc., learn a new language. I'm not saying not against that. And so you can always explore, but always remember that that background is still a part of you, wherever you grew up, wherever you came from, and it'll always be unique to you. And if you can uphold it to where people are like, wow, that's really cool, I didn't know you came from this part of the world, this country, this nation, etc., that's awesome. Tell me more. What is it that you have that we don't have, or what do we have that you don't, and how do we have those similarities and connections? And that is where, with this quote, right, the church is like that seed that is sprouted throughout the world, and as it grows with the unique trees and traditions, right, now the thing is, as a church leader, as a flock, that connection again, how does the flock connect to the faith, and how does the leader express that faith uniquely with respect to the people that she is entrusted to? And to remember, hey, not just the church, but beyond the people in different circumstances as well, at our businesses, in our families, fathers, mothers, people who are taking care of other parts of the world, right? As an owner, CEO? How do we take care of people that are entrusted to us uniquely? And how do you effectively communicate what has to be said with respect to history and to give respect to that? And so when you're in that history museum and you look at those artworks, those pieces of history, recall that they were made by somebody from some idea, some acknowledgement, some motivation, to where it's now in a history book. And now you're like, wow, that's beautiful. I'm glad someone made this today. A Mona Lisa, artwork, right? And you think, wow, someone was motivated. Now, what am I going to create today to be motivated for people to use in the future? Maybe you'll make a cross. Maybe you will design an artwork. Maybe you'll design something for your family that is awesome, unique, a treehouse, family structure, etc. And see how you can pass on that love, that story across the time. And it is love. Good thing I mentioned that before this video closes, that is passed on throughout your family. So always remember that. All right, everyone, I hope this video finds you well. I hope this is a good one. I'm going to go help clients today. I hope to move forward and to always remember, hey, I am moved by love, and love can move you. And throughout that history, that is what keeps us going beyond time. It is so unique. So our faith is so awesome. Do not let it die. Let it grow. Nourish it. And you got this. You'll take care of yourself and the flock. All right, everyone. Hope this video finds you well. Take care. Have a good one.